Oh, wow, battery's about dead. Holy jeez. Anyways, I just share a little video with you guys here real quick. Don't know whether this will get posted or not, but or uploaded. But I've been wanting to do this, make a video like this for quite a while. Just curious what's the best job you guys have ever had. Best job I've ever had. I've had a lot of good jobs. I've welded at 2 places. I was good at it, and they just, of course, you know, when the wire welding deal came along, you know, everybody and their dog learned how to do it, and welders weren't that needed like they were with a stick welder, and I could weld both ways. But anyhow, excuse me, the best job I ever had was doing the railroad construction. We tore out tracks. We got to see a lot of the country. I started off about, as a crow flies, about 2 miles straight east of here. They call it Winkleman Switch. That's where I started at. West of here, I grew up about 5 miles straight west of here, so it's kind of weird. Kind of smack dab in the middle, you know. But yeah, that was the best job I ever had, was railroad construction. It was a lot of fun. I was kind of like the foreman, I guess, of the crew. I don't know what you'd call me. You know, my job position, I was over everybody else. We'd go to like Kentucky, West Virginia, Arkansas. We just forked ties, which was a guy'd go ahead of me, mark the ties, grade them like a 1, 2, 3 category, and I'd go along and fork them out of the ground with a skid loader with they had a set of forks on it, and it was to be honest with you guys, it was a shitty job. The only good thing about it was got to run the machine, and machines I got to run there were old wore out big ass Bobcats, older ones with the first one I ran was here. It did not have no cage on it, and it was a monster. Yeah, that son of a bitch was huge. It wasn't your average skid loader. But as time progressed, we got to Kentucky, and that was all manual labor except for the end where I'd go along, and I was running the cat, and they'd pitch iron into the bucket, and you know, your spikes, your dogs, your creepers, everything had to be separated, and put it into big piles, and then a truck would come along, and the truck in the picture, I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, it's called a knuckle boom. It's kind of like a logging truck, and it actually is a logging truck, but they'd come along, it had a generator on it with a magnet, and he'd pick that up, and had little sideboards, you know, put on there where, you know, it could haul so much at a time, and take it and unload it, and it'd go into railroad cars, and all the railroad cars, you know, had their own separate deal, and I got to do that. Got to run the truck. It was a lot of fun. It really was. I remember one morning, we was at the yard. It was we'd go to breakfast at 5:30 every morning. A little cafe there in Kentucky, and we'd go to the yard, get there about 6:30, and 7 o'clock we'd head out. And every day or every Friday we'd get paid, and but we'd have the weekend off, or they would. The local guys would, and I was in charge of about 12 guys, and I remember this one guy. You guys know that Green Mile movie, where that big guy, that black guy on there, Michael, I can't think of his last name, just great big guy. That's what this other dude was, but he had a whore for a sister. I shit you guys not. And anyways, he'd get paid, and she'd go out and spend his money, and come Monday morning he wouldn't have nothing, you know, and no food or nothing like that. And Mike boss goes, he goes, "Is that Keith?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "He ain't got his fucking lunch again, does he?" I said, "Well," I said, "I guess it don't look that way." He goes, roll down your window and tell him to fucking go home. I said, fuck you. I said, you do it. I said, I'm not telling him to go home. He says, what? I said, that son of a bitch is big, man. You know? And he wasn't all upstairs. And Mike goes, Keith? Yeah? He goes, where the hell's your lunch at? He goes, I couldn't buy none. He says, well, how come? He says, my sister took my money. He says, took your money? He says, yeah. He said, all I got to do is buy a girly book and a can of pop or whatever the hell it was, and that's all the money that I had left. He said, what's she doing? He goes, I don't know. She didn't give me none. He goes, how in the hell are you supposed to eat? And he goes, I don't know. I guess I'll have to go without. Well, you know, nobody was going to let anybody go out without eating out there, busting their fucking asses. You know, and everybody, you know, somebody gave him a sandwich and some chips and some pop, you know, and stuff. And everybody felt sorry for the guy. His family kind of used him, you know. And the poor dude, he busted his ass, seriously did. And, but anyways, I could go on and on and on about this stuff. This, best job I ever had. And, I watched the show on the other night on TV. It was Ghost Adventures, and they were doing this, a cave, you know, it's supposedly a haunted cave. And for some reason, man, that just triggered a bell inside my head, you know, because every morning we'd go to work when we was taking down the trestle, and we'd had to go through this, they call it the Spurlington Tunnel. And a couple times there, the pickup got scraped on the side of the tunnel, but nobody ever knew anything about that, so that was good. It was an old Ford pickup, had the railroad gear on it, and that was kind of cool. Got to drive down track, but supposedly it was haunted by a witch called named Nancy Bass. The James Gang, Jesse James Gang, supposedly has something to do with it, I guess, and with her death. I don't know if that's, you know, who knows, you know. Stories get, you know, told every day. But anyway, you know, we got to drive through that, and, you know, it's just cool to actually be able to say, I was there, I had a part in that, you know. But then again, you read a lot of comments down in Campbellsville newspaper online there, and type in Spurlington Tunnel, and a lot of people were pretty fond of that, you know, of the old trestle and stuff, and I don't know how they'd react to, you know, seeing pictures of that tunnel being, you know, cut down, because we took it down with the backhoes and chainsaws, and it was all creosote, timbers, you know. So I don't know. It's something that had to be done because the railroad was abandoned, and if somebody would, you know, it's just like going on anybody else's property. You go on there, you get hurt, you can sue the people. It's not right, you know, but that's the way that's the way the law works, you know. And they did, I guess, back in the I don't know if it was the early 90s, because the bridge came down in 92, and I don't know if it was early 90s or late 80s, but they found body remains somewhat close to where whether it was by the bridge or where the bridge was, or sometime in that time frame. And it's got a lot of history, and it's just you know, how I worked at a power plant too, you know, on the roof, you know, 300 feet up in the air, and looking down at the big dump trucks, you know, hauling the coal, you know, how they look like little Hot Wheels, you know, cars and stuff, and toys. And but that bridge, man, that'll be something that never forget. So, but I'm gonna try to make a video of that, showing some pictures. It'll be like a slideshow deal, and hopefully figure out how to get these pictures, actually Kodak, you know, pictures on the internet. I guess my cousin told me, you can use a scanner with a USB device, something. So I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna find out where to do it and everything like that. So if you guys are still here, I appreciate you guys watching, and take care of yourselves. Sorry for the long video. I just feel good about talking about this stuff. It just really makes my day. So, all right, guys, take care. Thanks for sticking around.